which Pete, I got to ask you a question about this match.
Did you?
I got to ask you a question.
Oh,
Were your glasses fogging up at the sight of Trish Stratus?
well, just a little bit. Um, yeah, even Becky, interesting choice of outfit, that yellow jumpsuit. And I didn't know if she was paying with it because to me it seemed a wee bit obvious, but that might be because I was probably looking. Whether she was paying homage to the camels or particularly the toes, because that jumpsuit didn't leave a hell of a lot to the imagination, and the bright yellow was sort of grabbing a bit, so to speak. But I would have thought you would have noticed that before me, Anthony. But
Oh,
I do like Trish Stratus. Stratus.
so that takes us into the next match of WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus facing off against the Man Becky Lynch.
Well, you got a six-time champion. First singles match, though, interestingly enough, since SummerSlam 4 years ago for Stratus. And of course, Becky was the first woman to main event Mania. But for Stratus being 45, I think,
Mhm.
45 or 46. No, was certainly in her 40s. I thought she performed incredibly well.
She's 47.
47, yeah, I thought it was late 40s. Tell you what, she's in damn fine nick for a 47-year-old lady. Yeah, not that 47's old, especially at my age now. They're I still class them as chicky babes, but she hadn't lost much at all. Been out of the ring a long time. Obviously in phenomenal shape, but I thought she hadn't lost anything. I thought Becky Lynch was solid. Becky started off like a house of fire. Trish sort of took over outside the ring and started really healing up with the diamond plated ring steps and the commentary table and the whole bit. Using all of that. But I thought she played the heel very, very well, and two very, very good, solid workers. I thought it was not a bad match at all.
I didn't think it was a good. I didn't think it was a bad match as well. I mean, I liked like there's something with heel Trish. There is. Whenever she's been a heel, that's been her best version.
Yeah.
That has been her best version. So I didn't know how this match was going to go. Like
Mm.
a lot of the matches are sat there. Well, I mean, aside from the Rhea Ripley one, which we'll talk about later. Um, a lot of the matches are sat there. I went, well, how are you going to do this?
Mm.
And I went, well, do you put Becky over Trish or do you put Trish over Becky? What is the benefit in both ways?
Yes.
Now, technically, Trish didn't go over clean.
Well, yes.
So that
But
does
setting
lead.
up the whole program now with Zoe Stark coming in.
So does it go that it goes to tag match at Money in the Bank or tag match at SummerSlam?
Will it even go a tag match?
Well, it's gonna have to. Now that Zoe Stark's involved, we're gonna
Well,
have to.
Stark's involved, but is Trish finished with Becky, and it's now Zoe, or who come, or maybe Lita comes back and helps Becky Lynch at some point against Trish and Zoe. But I don't think Lita's sort of slated for anything upcoming.
I don't think I don't think they're planning on using her for a little while after her performance at Mania.
Yeah, I must admit, as much as I love her too, she was old and slow. She actually looked old and slow. And I'm a big fan of Lita's, but yeah, nah. So I don't know who would come and help her.
Well, I mean, you can always do it as Zoe Stark, Becky Lynch, Money in the Bank, and work it back to Stratus and Lynch at SummerSlam.
Mm, I don't know they'll do that. Hard to know. I mean, clearly Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark will have a program. I don't know how much longer Trish is there for, what their thoughts are, how often they'll use her. I thought it was a very good match. They used all their moves and counter moves, and they did all that. It was interesting though when Trish went under the ring or appeared to go under the ring, but clearly that was the signal for Zoe to, get ready. We're almost, ready to do the spot now.
Yeah.
So because she sort of poked her head under, probably, was dragged out instantly. So it was almost like to poke her head under and say, "Okay, we're ready."
Yeah.
I actually quite like Zoe Stark. I think she brings something a wee bit different. I've seen her on NXT quite a few times. Again, something about her. I think and I know this might go out on a bit of a limb, she could almost end up being an LA Knight type person, the female version.
And like I said, I'm actually kind of a little bit annoyed that they had LA Knight in the crowd.
I know.
I'm a little annoyed about that.
Yeah. But they reckon it's going to get a massive push, but
but when?
when?
That's the question is when.
Yes.
But that's besides the point of the minute. As I said, I didn't think it was gonna do the match this quickly.
Well,
I would have thought it would have built it a bit, and then maybe because there's talk about it maybe being SummerSlam.
Again, they're renowned for their lazy booking, and lately they've been renowned for setting things up without really having much of a setup.
Yeah.
What was the one just recently, and there was really no setup, and then they just did it, and I'm trying to think what it was now. I think we spoke about it, but everyone goes, "Oh, well, where'd that come?" Oh, that was Omos and who was it? Omos and
Rollins.
Rawlins, yeah, that's right. And we thought, well, where'd that come from? There was nothing. There was absolutely no connection, no nothing, and bang, there it was. So maybe they think, well, we need to introduce Zoe. That's what we brought her up for. So bang, let's just insert her and get her going. I suppose you've got to start somewhere, but maybe not the way I would have done it. But
I mean, even with Stark being aligned with Stratus, it's going to help her.
oh god, yeah, she'll get the rub.
Oh shit, yeah, no, like she will, and that's why I'm not so annoyed at how they did it.
No, I wasn't annoyed at it by any stretch. Now, Mike, you've been very quiet on this one. Not one of your favourite matches.
I actually enjoyed the match. My favourite match.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a good match. Solid, good technical work. It looked like a fight. Both girls put in. Bit of claret at the end of it. Zoe Starks, my favourite girls from NXT. Always talk her up when I'm watching her. I'm glad to see her get an opportunity and a shot at the main order. I think she's been a long time waiting. You could see, Trish is good because she was trained by Fit Finley, and you can see that style of hers has not gone anywhere. She's great for her age. Becky is Becky, she's good all round generally. I still don't like the whole shaking everything. She doesn't get a pin or something like that. I think she
that look of horror and shock. It's way over the top.
But I like the way hopefully they can keep Stratus there with Zoe Starks and maybe mentor her.
I was just going to say to you, they might mentor her.
That can happen. Yeah, it'd be nice because it'd be good for Zoe Starks. She's been a long time waiting. Yeah, sort of like got looked over quite a few times for a lot of the other. So,
I like her. I think she's got great potential. I wish they would do something with Lacey Evans as well. I think she's got great potential, but they just can't seem to focus on something for her.
I think they burnt it. I think they burnt her pretty good.
Yeah. That's a shame, though, because she's someone who's got fantastic potential.
Yeah, but I think they burnt her with all that whole military thing and my childhood and the heel face. I think they burnt her. I think they need to keep quiet on her for 6 months and reintroduce her in, I think.
What do you give this one out of a mark?
7.5.
Oh, okay. Well, I gave it 7, but
yeah, I went 7 as well.
Okay. You and I are on par tonight. All right.